So we saw Escape Room. Now, why is this so significant to Mud and I?
Escape Room 2, Tournament of Champions.
Tournament of Champions. This is so important to Just Mud and I because Just Mud and I reviewed Escape Room in 2018. It is one of our oldest reviews on the channel.
I think it was 2019, actually. So in 2019, you and I watched Escape Room, not only together without Ian, but it was the first film we saw that year in theaters. And now, at the end of the plague, well, I saw Black Widow, but we didn't review it. But we returned to the cinema for Escape Room, Tournament of Champions,
baby.
What a fucking film.
I know.
I have a lot to say.
Well, why don't we start small and just say that you and I, even though we gave the first Escape Room harshly negative reviews because it's a very bad movie.
2 and 3.
Yep. 2 and a 3 out of 10. Really? Wow. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
it was lower than I thought, too. I thought we gave it like 4s and 5s.
No, that's actually about appropriate now that I think about it.
Yeah.
But either way, we gave the movie terrible scores because it's a terrible movie. And yet we were still so hyped, the same way like a crackhead is hyped for the next hit of this terrible franchise.
Well, in our original review, I said verbatim, I don't want this film to get a sequel. Now that I've seen the sequel, I'm sorry I said that. I really want this film to get a sequel too. So let's start at the beginning, and spoiler alert, because we're going to talk. We have to talk
the hell out of this movie.
We have to tell you the whole plot of the movie. So the movie begins. By the way, the entire runtime of this film, including credits, is 1 hour and 28 minutes. That's very short for a theatrical film. Like, bare minimum's usually 1 hour 30, hour 35.
Yep.
And it begins with a recap of the first movie.
Yep.
Like, an extended recap. Because the fucking teenagers in this audience don't remember the movie that they are going to see the sequel to. Or, I think more likely, people don't realize that this is a sequel.
I was about to say, I think the more likely result here is that Sony, the guys behind this, they simply don't care if you have or haven't seen the sequel. They want this to be accessible because they don't have faith in their franchise.
I hate that it's now the Escape Room franchise.
I'm going to say it right now. I don't think any executive at Sony thinks that their movies in the Escape Room series are going to be good.
This film is so clearly not trusting the audience.
No.
Every line's exposition.
Every ADR is explaining things that we can already figure out visually.
Oh, it's bad,
it's
dude.
It's just like the first Escape Room.
50% of this film is ADR.
It's just like the
and
first
it's
one.
Always the exact same style where they're like, I got a clue over here. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then like someone else across from me, wait, that's also the combination of my luggage. If I shove my luggage into the hole, that'll turn the room sideways, and then we can all shoot out.
Then we can take the air from Druidia.
It's like a bunch of leapfrog statements into like the dire straits of about to die. Like, oh, let's just assume 8 different things. Oh, we were right. Oh, thank God we're alive.
Oh my God, there are so many leaps in logic in this film during the puzzles. But with that said, just like in the first film, the puzzles slap. Like
they do. I like how they went Fast and Furious, and each one's just getting nuts.
Yeah,
it's fucking
especially because
crazier.
in the first one, there's a room that isn't even a puzzle. It's just like disorienting lights and music. And it's like, this isn't a puzzle. You just needed to kill one of the cast members.
Literally, it's just like a weird music video. Basically.
Like at least in this movie, every single puzzle room is an actual puzzle.
Yeah.
Some of them are better than others, in my personal opinion. Like I think the first puzzle room, I'm trying to remember them now.
Oh, can I talk about it?
First, second, third are pretty great.
Okay, so let's go puzzle by puzzle. I think that's a smart option here.
So the first puzzle's the one that's all over the trailer where they go, what is this, some kind of Suicide Squad?
Yep, they say the line exactly.
Say, what is this, a Tournament of Champions?
So what, we're some kind of... Yeah, exactly. So, no, the train car that's been...
It's electrified.
Electrified from the outside. As the room counts down to it being death, because that's how all the rooms work, the lightning becomes more and more sentient.
It starts targeting people.
It uses like hands almost to push and punch people. Do you see
like,
that?
People are getting like thrown around the room by lightning. That one dude who dies in the room, fucking Rosie, he's just holding the pole and just shaking. It was the funniest fucking thing. And
my favorite part, like,
he's gone, and I'm like, is he?
Sleep well, bro. No, I love that freaking. Oh my God, the influencer. She was just standing there, not doing anything, and the lightning punched her in the head.
It did.
It just reached out like a
punched
fist.
her in the fucking head.
It's this weird, like, ghost god lightning. It's just like Zeus is just shitting on him. Like, it's the weirdest fucking thing.
It's a fine puzzle. I think, but it's definitely I don't know if it's my least favorite. I think
What's the next one?
The next one is the bank one, which is my favorite. That one's like a genuine...
Okay, it started out with a chessboard tile, and I was like, oh boy, chess. And then it panned out, and it was big, and I was like, oh, big chess.
I literally leaned over to you, and I went, long chess.
A big, long chess.
Can you imagine long chess? It's 8 moves to get your pawn across the board to fight somebody.
Oh, my God. That room might have had
terrible.
the worst... no, it doesn't. But it has one of the worst situations of, like, I found a key. This key has numbers. That means the numbers add up like this and go that way, and that means that this is a chessboard where this lines up with the columns like that, and that means that this goes here, and that means, and it just leapfrogs.
Oh, that was definitely the most leapfrog logic room. That room also has not 1 but 2 death fakeouts.
Yeah. Also, that guy, that preacher guy, definitely was supposed to die by lasers in the first draft of that script. And
Yes.
they rewrote it so he didn't.
They decided to keep him because he just dies in the next room.
Anyway.
Like, they give him a really, 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 really brief character arc. And speaking of the priest character, I made the same wrong prediction in this film that you made in the first film. You thought that one of the players was going to be a member of Minos, the shadowy organization that organizes
We'll get into
all
Minos.
this. You thought it was going to be the gamer kid from the fucking first movie who sucks. I thought it was going to be the preacher because he has this whole scene where he's like Steven Seagal. He's like, sleep well, brother, as he pulls the guy's eyes down. And I was like, oh, he's definitely, because he was also the first one. He found the first clue that initiated the game. Like, he gave them the little kick. He was kind of separate from everyone else. You know, I was like, this guy is going to be the bad guy, and he's not. And
who's your favorite member of Minos? Tanos, Onset, or Quainvo?
I'm more of a Quainvo fan.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
I had to.
But, no, he's not the bad guy, and he just fucking dies.
Yeah.
He just goes under the... They make a big deal out of the film. They're like, if you don't see it, it didn't happen, which is like the meta rule of screenwriting is if there's not a body, they're not dead. And even then, people are willing to break that rule.
Yep.
And they make a big deal out of that because that's how they justify Ben coming back at the end of the film. Spoiler alert. Ben dies in the second to last room.
Yep.
But the preacher man, Nate, also dies in that room. He's fucking dead.
Yep.
They die in the exact same way. They get sucked under the sand.
Yep.
Nate's dead. Ben's not.
Yeah.
I was willing to go as far as say that everyone except for the first guy who died were gonna come back.
Yeah. No. Let's go to the next room then. That would be the beach room, which you're talking about right now.
Yes. Let's talk about the beach room.
I think that has the worst case of leapfrog into assumptions because
it's pretty bad.
there are no clues. She finds a camera. They definitely like start calling out like random things because they look at an object and go, "Oh my god, that means the answer."
Yeah,
is
like
this.
Zoe's like, "Oh, there's a fridge in here. That's the way out." I was like, "Fuck, how? What?"
Yeah, that room I think has the worst case of that.
I think it does too because she sees something that looks like a door and goes, "This is the way out." No, it isn't, honey.
No, it's not. This is just
Like,
the way.
yeah, no. There's a lot of leapfrog logic that I'm not sure was present in the first one.
Oh, it was.
So.
It was, although I will say, just like Fast and Furious, it was not this goofy.
What I'm trying to say is I don't really remember the first one, and I don't feel like going back to check. I'm convinced that Deborah Ann Wall's character didn't have a daughter in the first one, because I don't remember that, but I don't remember the first movie, so I guess this movie's
They
right.
took a line throwaway of dialogue from the first movie and made it the plot of this movie.
They made it the plot.
They made it like the biggest deal, and it was nothing. It was a sentence of backstory brushed away.
It was a throwaway line to give the side character a brief 5-second character arc so you feel bad when they die.
Right.
This movie's got it all over the place. The first guy who dies, he's talking about how it's his wife's birthday, how the Minos people popped his ears and now he's partially deaf, and then he fucking dies.
Can I say something about the movie, though? I'm going to be honest. Walking into Escape Room Tournament of Champions out now, I did not remember much of the first Escape Room. And then I watched that opening montage and I was like, oh, and it all like flooded.
Yeah, you remember how bad it is.
I remember like in that montage, I was like, oh my God, I remember every single fucking part about this movie. I forgot I had that memory in my head and it just rushed. And I'm watching this and it's like, oh, this is such a weird, like, it's almost like how do I describe it? It's the cousin of the first movie.
Yeah.
It's trying to be the first movie, but like he's just not there. And you know what? In some sense, he's even better because the first movie sucks.
It does.
It's just
this movie kind of sucks
weird.
too.
It's like a weird imitation of the
I'll
first
say
one.
this film reminded me of how the first movie ends because I kind of forgot. So like I remember everyone, going room by room, people die. There was a kid, Deborah Ann Wall, the black dude, and I think there was maybe one more, but I don't remember. So we're going to pretend there isn't.
Sure.
And then it comes down to Ben and Zoe. Oh, there's the old dude who dies of a heart attack.
Okay.
That was in the recap. That's the only reason I remember it.
Yep.
It comes down to, actually, it just comes down to Ben because Zoe gets left behind early, which I remember actually being a good part of Escape Room is how she breaks out, is she fakes her own death, and they go like 3 rooms more, and then they come back and are like, oh, by the way, Zoe's not dead. Like, it was actually a plot twist.
Yep.
What I forgot was at the end of it, Ben gets confronted by that weird Eastern European psychopath dude,
Right.
and Zoe saves him. My brain deleted that part of the movie, and I just remember Ben getting to the final puzzle, Zoe breaking out, and then they escaped together. I forgot there was that middle section. And this film brings it up and is like, in the recap, in their previously on Escape Room recap, because it's a fucking TV show.
It is a TV show.
This is a great TV show, by the way. Like, this TV show's got a budget.
This is the same way that, like, I watch Riverdale with my girlfriend. For context, my girlfriend actually is into Riverdale.
Of course she is.
But me being a fucking commentating god on the channel, I'm watching Riverdale going like, oh my fucking god, this is like ripe with material, and I'm just shitting on it in my head the whole time. So I hate watch and love watch Riverdale at the same time. This is so that. This is like...
I had a great time. We were cracking jokes in the theater, but what I got to focus on is... So at the end of the first film, they have the most sequel bait scene where it's the plane crash sequence, and they're like, we'll be ready for her next time, right? And they put the plane crash sequence in the trailer for this film. I want to talk about me watching the trailer because I feel like it was part of the movie-going experience in a minute. But it's in the trailer. Then this film goes by. The plane crash sequence is the last scene of the movie, and it ends on a cliffhanger setting up the third one. And that just proves to me that they wrote that ending and didn't know what they were going to do with it. So when the movie was actually successful and they were like, we're giving you the green light for a sequel, the writers went, well, we have to do something with that plane crash sequence.
Right.
Put it at the end of the second one. They've teased it twice now, but they've written themselves into another corner because they have to open the third movie with a plane crash.
No, they have to open it with, I'm going to say it, the escaping the plane room.
Yes.
They have to escape she has to escape the plane. That is and now you're right. Both movies have ended with a cliffhanger for a plane crash escape room we have not seen.
Yeah.
None of these movies have shown it.
This is why I want the third one now, because it's been dangled in front of me twice. The first time it's like, okay, whatever, sequel bait. The second time they're like, no, we're really going to do it this time. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's see what you can do.
I don't think I've ever seen a series have a cloned version of sequel bait.
They did it again, and they had the audacity to put the plane crash sequence in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I saw the trailer for this ahead of Black Widow. I was prepared to go see this and not watch the trailer, by the way. The trailer gives away the whole movie.
It does. Like, even the twist in the middle. But the best part is, in the trailer, they say, what is this, some kind of Suicide Squad? They do. They say, what are we, some kind of Tournament of Champions?
The second they said that, I knew exactly what I was in store for.
Dude.
I was jazzed.
All right.
I was jonesing for it.
We still haven't stuck to the room concept. So
oh, yeah. So back to the...
Next room would be the acid room, where it's the New York City.
See, this one, what sucks about this one is it comes in like halfway through.
Yep.
Because the characters split up. Yep. And then they come back together in the room. What I don't get is why Zoe and Rachel thought they were out. Like, when Zoe escapes in the first one, she genuinely escapes. Like, some guy comes to take her body away, and she beats the fuck out of him and then, like, runs away.
Yep.
This one, it's so manufactured. She finds a tunnel behind a set piece.
Yep.
And she's like, I found the way out. I found we can escape. And I'm like, that's clearly put there.
Yeah, like, what did you think that was? A vent? It's got, like, strobe lights around it.
Yeah.
There's no part of any building that would look like this internally.
With how soundproof Minos' logic is, because they're gods, if this was a genuine way out, they would have slapped some concrete on that bitch. You're not getting out through there.
Yep.
But, like, Zoe's genuinely... in a way, they dumbed down Zoe in this film. Like, she actually escapes in the first film because she fakes her death, and when the cleanup crew comes, time out on the game, like, this is like genuine, like, all right, the game in this room is over. She gets up and beats one of their asses.
Yep.
And in this one, she's just like, I did it. And it's like, no, you didn't.
Can I propose a theory? This
yes.
took 2 years to get to this movie from the first movie. So We're going to see this in 2023 because they got to make another one now.
Pray that they make
All
a
right.
third one
I'm
just for the
calling
plane
it out.
crash room.
This is live on air right now. I'm calling it out. I swear to God, this is true. There's magic. Minos is some kind of wizard organization who can literally manipulate the world around them. They want her to, for the same reason they said, we need you to make the puzzles, but we can only make stuff. We don't have the creativity that she has to make escape rooms.
All right.
So
I have two thoughts. I have two.
Can I back it up?
You could see my brain churning like a thought.
It's like the acid rain in that room, just melting you slowly. Can I back up my point?
I want to say two things first.
Okay.
That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. I absolutely hope it's true.
Right. I also agree. It's not good, but it's
Sony,
great.
Sony. No. This is a shout out. Sony Pictures. If you can hear us right now on air, we will write Escape Room 3 for you.
Better yet, because I know you'll say no to that, you can have that idea. I donate it.
Yeah.
I do not want royalties. I want you. Well, I do. But I want you to do that in the third one.
Yeah, no.
But
like also, we will write Escape Room 3
Can
for you as the biggest escape room fans in the world.
Self-proclaimed. Yeah.
Self-proclaimed
absolutely.
Greatest fans of the escape room franchise.
Of course, of all time. I wasn't after the first one. I am now after the
Yeah,
second
no, it's like, man, what's better than one bad movie? Two bad movies.
So good. I want you in two sequel bait films.
Literally,
that
it's
tease the plane
Megatron.
scene. No, so the reason why I think that it's pretty obvious, but Minos must have more money than Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos tied together.
Yeah.
Because they control not only like this entire warehouse of sci-fi nanotech.
Several warehouses worth.
Several warehouse of sci-fi nanotech with like strobe lights everywhere, because that's what you need in tech, I guess. And then on top of that, they also manufactured a simulation of the entire city and several blocks and a police station and the people in that police station and several layers after that for her to get on the plane. They have to fabricate.
And there was like moving boxes of like whole sets during their escape.
Yep. Like so many like infinite layers of like no possible. Even if every world billionaire got together and tried to do this, they would fail.
Yeah.
They would not get this successfully.
Like the amount of physical space alone to do this. It's the same problem. I'm going to make a really weird poll. It's the same problem with Antebellum, where the amount of space needed to pull this off does not make sense logically because someone would stumble upon this.
Can I also hit you with something else too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Big deal. Very big deal here. How many people, just humans, would it take to have built these warehouses?
Yeah, not everyone in the world will turn a blind eye to torture.
Yep.
Thanks to money. Like, what bothers me a lot in real life is when people are like, oh yeah, this 100-year-long conspiracy theory that envelops thousands. I'm like, the CIA couldn't even keep MK Ultra under wraps for like 10 years. Like,
Dude,
the more people you let in, the higher the chance the secret gets out.
I'll give you the best possible version of what you just said. If there were ever a secret the White House would want to keep, it would be where the president puts his penis. And 3 people knew about the Lewinsky scandal, and that got out. That shit got out. The CIA couldn't keep that under wraps. You're going to tell me the escape room universe has
Watergate was like 2 people.
2 people with Watergate. You're going to tell me the fucking escape room universe has like easily 100,000 people working for him.
Yeah.
Easily. And all of them are just like, yeah, no, we're not real. And everyone who dies, they're fine.
Fuck it. Everyone, it's the John Wick problem. Everyone in New York's a psychopath.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit. You're absolutely right. But I really hope that Minos is a wizard.
I want them to be wizards so bad.
I want Zoe to learn magic and then they wizard fight.
They wizard! And then she has to solve their wizard spells real time.
And it gets like really quantum.
As if it's like an escape room?
Yes. Okay.
Oh my god.
But speaking of designing the escape rooms, I need to talk about the biggest plot twist in this film. I want a double spoiler alert. Like, even if you're considering going to see this film and you've been listening this far and you actually kind of want to go in and have something genuinely shocking happen, because we were both genuinely shocked by this. Spoilers.
Mud, I promise you, if they've made it this far and they haven't seen it, they're not gonna.
Deborah Ann Wall, in the first film, who dies, comes back. She's alive.
Yep.
And it's the dumbest reason I've ever heard. They're like, they wanted me to design the rooms. They need someone who's beat them to design the rooms. She died in the 3rd room. She was the second death of her group.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, no. She never shows like prowess of being like a genius. Like the whole thing with the group in the first movies, they're all sole survivors of something. Deborah Ann Wall is her character is a veteran who survived an IED explosion. There's nothing inherently clear in her backstory that says that she survived thanks to her brains.
Mm-hmm.
She survived from circumstance.
Yep.
It was like an IED or an ambush. The point is, it was a luck-based thing that led to her survival. So I don't get why they're like, she's like, I'm designing all the rooms. And it links back to the fucking foreshadowing of like her throwaway line about having a daughter makes it her the most important fucking character. My theory, I've shared this with you, is that the reason they did this is because of all the original cast, Deborah Ann Wall is the most recognizable face. I'm not saying like she's like A-list material, she fucking is, but because she was in Daredevil and people recognize her from Daredevil and like other stuff.
Yep.
You know, that's kind of the reason I saw the first one. I was like, oh, Deborah Ann Wall's in this. Fuck it. Why not? So I think that's the reason they brought back her character. She's the quote unquote most marketable.
Okay.
I think that's why they picked her, because why the fuck? Like, why bring anyone back?
There's no reason to bring
like,
back.
I think the movie just flies off the fucking rails the second that happens.
So during our conversation on this recording, I have discovered a new issue with Minos. As if there aren't enough. But no, if they're wizards, it's a fucking baller. But so there, after the first movie's events, after the plane crash, which still, I don't know.
The simulated plane crash.
After the first movie's events, Minos is aware of, what, like 6 or 7 tournament champions. They have 6 people who have beaten their rooms. That is the criteria for making new escape rooms. Go to them, kidnap, I don't know, their mom, if you want to, and then just force them to build rooms, and then at least 1 or 2 will say yes. But their plan is to instead kidnap all 6 of them into Escape Tomb Part 2 for their escape rooms, and then just kill all of them almost off, kind of, not
but
really.
But they wanted Zoe anyways.
And they wanted Zoe anyways, and they built it for her. But how the fuck, unless they're wizards and they can see the future,
I don't know.
How the fuck could they have known that Zoe would beat them? This is a tournament of champions.
Zoe didn't even win the first one. Ben did. Zoe cheated.
A, and B, they've all won. They've all beat their escape. All these people in the escape rooms and Escape Tomb have beat Escape Rooms. They've all beat escape rooms already.
Can we get prequels with all their...
Please. Yes. No, all these people in this fucking Zeus lightning train have beat escape rooms before, the entire series and this entire saga. So, any of them could work, but you want to kill them off, because that guy did die eventually. You Minos, want to kill... You want to acid rain the influencer and the girl who can't feel pain in the street.
Burns her away to nothing. Rachel's got the same problem that the bad guy in The World Is Not Enough have, is just because you can't feel pain doesn't mean your nerves aren't going to be severed because you're burning your hands.
That's true.
It would have been more interesting if they don't establish that she can't feel pain till like over halfway through the film, because this movie doesn't focus on characters until right before they die. If they established that early on, and like Rachel became like the group's heavy where she just tanks stuff because it doesn't hurt her. Mm-hmm. But like we see it start to like actually physically decay her body. Yep. That would have been really cool. So like by the end of the final like thing where she dies, she's like trying to pick stuff up, but like she's like, yeah, I can't feel pain, but my nerves are still shot. Yep. And she can't like move her hands.
I'm calling another twist. Are you ready?
Yes.
Escape 3. I don't know if actually Escape 3 is going to be the conclusion to the saga, but if it is,
I hope it's not.
If she meets the big bad
Minos, if she meets
Mr. Minos,
John Minos,
Bob Minos, if she meets the CEO of Minos, inventor of Minos, and it's like a wizard man, I also think, and this would actually also solve more problems in the other 2 movies, I think that it's either going to be her father, like a Star Wars twist, or it's going to be someone who knows her, like a relative.
It's going to be her mom.
It's going to be her mom. That's a big deal.
Her dead mom.
Her dead mom's a very big deal. Her dead mom learned magic and faked her death.
Her dead mom faked her death because she gets paid by all these billionaires to design escape rooms and now wants her daughter to take over.
Yep.
And I'm going to throw this one out there so we can be wrong again. One of the competitors in the 3rd movie works for Minos.
Yeah, finally.
I'm fucking doubling down on
you
the
and
easiest
I will
twist.
Both be right. That one movie... Dude, if that movie comes out and it matches what we're saying, holy shit.
Nostradamus, dude. Fuck clairvoyant points. We're Nostradamus.
We are
see the
God.
Future. Oh my God. I think I'm just about out of stuff to say.
Yeah.
Go see this movie, please. Not because you enjoy it, not because you'll have a good time, but because this movie needs to make enough money to make a 3rd one so that Jake and I can watch it. That's the only reason. Do it for us.
Fully endorse everything Mud just said.
Do it for us, guys.
Fully endorse.
Please. We need the serotonin. Do it for us.
I'm going to give this movie a 1 out of 10. But I also want to add that this movie made excitement levels on par with like an Avengers movie.
I was gonna say that there were some moments where I was cheering like Cat picked up Mjolnir. I was like, yeah, baby.
She put the water out with the fire.
We didn't bring that up.
No,
I'm not gonna explain. Go see the movie to understand why you put water out with fire.
But it works.
It works. Oh God, 1, yeah.
I did not misspeak.
You gave the first movie a 2. I gave the first movie a 3. I'm gonna give this movie a 2. Go see this movie.
So the third one, I'm gonna give it a 0, and you're gonna give it a 1.
And we're just gonna keep going. Oh, closing statement.
Please, I know what you're gonna say.
The first film is an hour and 39 minutes long, which translates to 99 minutes. The second film is an hour and 28 minutes long, which translates to 88 minutes. Every film is 11 minutes shorter than the last one. So the third one's going to be 77 minutes. And then when we get to the franchise, the last film's going to be 11 minutes because Minos the Wizard has planned out everything, guys.
Yep.
There's clues everywhere. This is a clue, and that's a clue. And I called that plot twist at the fucking beginning of the movie.
Hey, don't forget 0526. It's important. Why?
That's Ian's birthday.
That's Ian's... Fuck. Oh my God. Holy shit. Guys, you don't understand. 0526 is such a big deal in Escape Tomb.
It's like the key to like 3 rooms.
It's several, and it's on like the subway. It's a big deal in the chess room. I'm pretty sure it comes back a room after that.
Yeah, it's in the beach room too.
In the beach room.
Just go see the movie.
It's so good.
God, are we in a simulation?
I feel like we're still watching the movie. They tricked us. No wonder it was so short.